Hello and welcome to the TechBytes audiocast. My name's Tim and I'm from the TechBytes blogazine, and with me is Dr. Roy Shestowitz from the TechBytes website.
It's Friday night and I'm gonna get sauce. I fought the troll and the troll lost. I fought the troll and the troll lost. He tried to boss me and was out-bossed. I fought the troll and the troll lost. I fought the troll and the troll lost. Underneath his creeper bridge, hoping goats will cross. Quoting Ashcroft and Tom Ridge, I fought the troll and the...
Right, hello and welcome to TechBytes audiocast episode 44. It's Saturday, May the 7th, and we've got the full crew tonight, as well as having Rusty from the Show That Sucks. So, without further ado, because Rusty's the guest again tonight, he's going to start off the show with a couple of topics that interest him. Rusty, it's all yours.
One thing, you should have had everybody together for 42, because now we just can't make all these lovely jokes. And Don't Panic would have been perfect for this thing, because it's, the newly formed Homeland Security's over here leading the charge on, censoring the internet if you're even remotely accused of piracy. And basically they just go and attack the name servers so that if somebody types in your domain name, it doesn't forward to your IP address anymore. And, didn't take very long for the hacking community to go, you know what, we can redirect by other means. So they wrote a plugin for Firefox, and strangely enough, the Mozilla Corporation isn't going to listen to the United States government that's ordering them to, no, you can't have something that makes us look like idiots.
Since you're from America, Rusty, I can put this question to you, because this really puzzled me. What's the general feeling from the American public, as best you can interpret it? Because for me, I'm looking at the Department of Homeland Security getting involved in what effectively is copying movies and music, and aren't the public as a whole turning around and saying we've got more important things to be worrying about rather than a couple of...
No, it's far worse than that. It's a subsection of the Department of Homeland Security that's actually the newly formed section in charge of immigration. So they're not. When the Department of Homeland Security was formed, all these other agencies got either absorbed into it or new sub-agencies were created. And immigration is now under Homeland Security. And immigration says because we police our borders, we're allowed to deal with this trade because it deals with things going over the border.
Including also they call it piracy as well.
Yeah.
Immigration and piracy and ships and things like that.
The thing with borders is there's so many companies that are sort of worldwide companies that people use the world over in every country or almost every country, but they're American companies. So as soon as they come through, I mean, if you use Hotmail, well, that'll come through American servers because Microsoft's an American company. If you use Google Mail, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm in the UK. The three of us are in the UK apart from yourself, Rusty. But if we use Google Mail, it goes through American servers. It filters its way through onto American soil, through American servers. Like RIM in Canada might be another one, I don't know. But there's so many companies that go through American soil, American servers, so therefore, as soon as the data goes through there, it puts itself into American jurisdiction, or they would claim, anyway.
Well, like he's asking what the American public over here thinks. John Q. Public is oblivious. They're not even really aware this is going on or that there's a way to get around it. Technical people and people who are paying attention to the thing, like you just pointed out, that at one point or another, by way of the way the internet largely works, things are crossing international borders, which this sets a really scary precedent that the law's being stretched and bent to this point to even make it fall under this bureaucracy's jurisdiction. Because it's like, that's scary. What are they going to claim they have dominion over next?
Well, it starts with things like what they call piracy. The issue of privacy has become quite a strong argument here because did you hear about the SWIFT fiasco? in Europe. They do want to start and exchange personal data of people, even domestic flights within Europe. The American government has access to that. And one of the issues, apart from that, and I cannot confirm this is true, I heard that in the UK, all the mail, even if it's not going through a company or a server like Hotmail's, I believe it's going to be routed through some American servers for scanning for so-called anti-terrorism purposes. I heard it somewhere in Yorkshire that they actually harvest some data and try to retain some mail in general of people's use of the internet, all kinds of things that they don't exactly tell you about. But if you did try to find out, you'd find that they actually do that.
No, as a matter of fact, like the running joke over here has become, congratulations, you just made the Homeland Security watch list. You know, that's just the running joke that people make, and it's one of those things, we don't take it seriously, but it kind of is sad, because I would, the wind is beginning to feather back though now, because a couple of documentaries in the last 3 months or so pointed out that the amount of money we're spending on Homeland Security, they have to prevent over 1,500, basically 4 terrorist attacks a day to justify themselves. So
I believe that the size of the list of the, well, as you call it, the watch list, I think it's something like 300,000 people, perhaps. The list.
Yeah, it's basically
I think
your
very controversial. So all of them they consider to be potential terrorists or people of danger.
Well, the thing with the list, though, is the list always goes up and up and up. No one ever comes off the list.
The same with the prison system, actually. I believe that it's the numbers say that the United States prison population is something like the 40% of the whole world's prison population. It's something like 2 million people in prison. Almost 1% of the population.
Oh, you're getting on a different topic here now.
Yeah.
That's the fact that
yes,
it's,
I think it's the basically excessive caution sometimes, or the assumption that putting more people on a watch list or eavesdropping on more people will necessarily increase your security, which isn't always the case. You could actually change the specificity or the sensitivity.
Well, no, and one of our founding fathers said that, you know, those who are willing to trade liberty for security soon will have neither. At this point, it's honestly become it justifying itself. You know, it's finding new things to get paranoid about to justify itself.
The thing with that is, you've got a heavy military industry. The industry that makes all the bombs and the tanks and all of that, they've got profits to make. They're all private companies. They've got profits to make. So if there's no threat, then they don't get the sales. So they have to keep ensuring that there's always the bogeyman is always waiting to jump out on you. So you must keep spending this money on our stuff to make us money, but to keep you safe.
If I could just add, there was a heartwarming story of sorts in the papers recently over in the UK, and it's a gentleman, I can't remember which police service it was relating to, but he was a campaigner, and he attended a few protests, I believe, on green issues, and it transpired that there was a portfolio of observations and intelligence built up on this gentleman. He committed no criminal offence at all, and under the Freedom of Information Act he requested that information, and I believe he's taken that police service to court, but I don't know. I was just desperately trying to look at it on the net to find out which service and give more details. I'll have to look later because I can't find it off the top of my head. But it was on it was reported in mainstream media, so that's heartwarming that if steps are going to be taken to obtain information on people, put people on watch lists.
And the reality is we're in a limbo thing, at least if you're talking about the States right now, because Patriot Act and Patriot Act 2 have been weakened in recent years, so there are certain things that were being done that aren't being done anymore. But basically we have created a whole new government agency, Homeland Security, that now has to justify itself. And you know, like you were saying, you know, the boogeyman's there, we're protecting you from the boogeyman, and I'm thankful, but I'm simultaneously scared, because the citizens around here have started to wake up and realize, wait a minute, but we got the boogeymen, we dumped him in the ocean. What do you mean there's another boogeyman? Like, wait a minute.